Hey, Jessica. So I think that what we're going to want to do to check that assessments have appropriate mappings is get into a department and then get in the strategic planner and then planner. And then you'll need to, it should be by default in the right term, but then scroll down until you find some assessments that need to be done. Like, for instance, we know that 198S needs to be assessed. There's 4 assessments for that course. That doesn't particularly matter. The only thing that matters is that that course needs to be assessed. And then in another tab, have the curriculum map area open. You need to be selected in the right department, and then it's under SLOs and assessment, and then under curriculum map. And then you actually have to change this from PSLOs to ISLOs. If it's selected with PSLOs, basically nothing will show up. And then because of the way this is formatted, if I go find 198S, 198S, by the way, is a new course, so it's one of the ones we know is a problem. And basically that's what we're looking for, is like a list of which things are a problem, unless things are obvious, in which case you could actually do some of this. So you could scroll over here, which takes a million frickin' clicks. It's probably easier to just go through the categories. So like I can see there aren't any selections made in the awareness and personal responsibility. I can see there aren't any made in breadth of subject. I can see there aren't any in critical and creative. I can see there aren't any in effective communication. And then I also had this area trial slows that I made today. So what we would like is to know that those mappings haven't been made. And then if they're totally obvious, like I think I would say go ahead and make a note of which ones you did and then just do them. So leave the others alone. None of like these other areas. Don't do anything in those. Just mark that they're either it's mapped and looks reasonable, or it's not mapped, it doesn't look reasonable. But in the trial ones, I think you can go ahead and make an assumption there. So on this, like apply numerical and algebraic reasoning and computational skills, like that's a calculation thing. So I'm going to select the calculation and critical thinking. Construct, use, and interpret models, specifically linear, to represent and communicate relationships in quantitative data. That is kind of ambiguous. That could be either a calculate or a communicate thing. I'm going to put that one in calculate 2. Whatever you do, don't put these in more than one area. And then this formulate questions that can be addressed, that's a clear communication thing, so I'm going to select communicate there. So if you want to do that and then just note which ones you've done it for, that would be great. I think we're going to have to try to catch people as they go through and ask these questions. But if you want to just make guesses, that's totally fine. It would probably be, so the goal here in the end is going to be to have one C-SLO go to one I-SLO, and each I-SLO have at most one C-SLO. So they should ideally look something like this. Oops, cancel, stop that. So they should ideally look something like this, right? So C-SLO to I-SLO and I-SLO to C-SLO. So they should be a 1-to-1 map, but that's probably not doable right now because this one is kind of formulated as a calculate thing. So I really would do this. And that's going to help us slim down our multiplicative problem. But I think what Diana wanted you to do is more or less just go through the others and check and see that some mapping had been made and that it sounded reasonable. Like if we have apply numerical and algebraic reasoning going to self, right? Set and monitor goals. I think we can probably assume that that one's wrong. Mark that down and we'll have the faculty member look at it. Thanks. Oh, and if you're not sure, don't do anything, just note it. And that goes for the trial ones too. If you're not sure about the trial ones, just note it and we'll deal with it.